Make it stop! Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Today, we've got what sold on eBay last week. As always, on your lovely Tuesdays, I will be bringing you this video showing you what sold on my eBay over the past 7 days. But today's episode is a little bit special. It is May 2nd, so we're going to go over all of April's sales at the end, show you a total for the month and all the fees that came out of that total and all that good stuff. So stick around to the end of the video for the total of the total sales for the month of April. Anyways, let's get right into it. So if you guys watch the yard sale videos where I record like the picks themselves and all that good stuff, you will know I picked this up just recently, a few weekends ago. Some sort of a wearable air purifier, as you could probably tell by the name here. So I picked it up, I think for it was a lot deal, but at the end of the day I paid about $5 on it. So we got our money back and then put $5 in our pocket. Not too shabby. This one was pretty fun, man. I gotta admit, like the fun part is going to sales and digging through tables and tables of stuff and getting lucky and finding that one thing and having the knowledge that that's worth more than what it is, or looking it up on your phone even and figuring it out. But the thrill of the hunt is so much of it, right? But I got this on Facebook. There's a local Facebook group that does auctions, and you guys should probably check your area. You know, not everybody's going to have it, obviously, but there's actually this pretty sizable Facebook group, and they do 48-hour auctions. Very similar to eBay. You know, they just do a starting bid and a pickup location, like a meet spot. And then the bid ends 48 hours later. And I live in a rural area where the average income is pretty low. And, you know, a lot of the stuff just doesn't sell for very much at all. And I go through it every day and try to keep up with it. And I find stuff like this and I appraise it online to see, you know, if anything catches my eye and it's cheap enough starting bid, I look it up. And if it's worthwhile, I set a reminder on my phone and I snipe the auction. And that's what happened here. Somebody had a bid for $5, like right after it posted, because that was the starting bid. I came in and got it for $6. And the first thing I noticed, if you guys don't know what Snap-on is, it's like a big truck that travels around to people's garages, that, you know, they have like a machine shop, they have like a race car or something like that. They'll show right up to your business and let you come on the truck and look at, it's basically just a store on wheels for people that need tools. And it's been around for a long time, and there's lots of this like pin-up stuff that people like to collect and all that. So anyways, got this bad boy for $6. The first thing I noticed is that it was in really, really good shape, and the posting did say that the clock worked. A lot of times when you find stuff like this, the hands will be all beat up and, you know, bent or snapped off or whatever, or the clock itself just doesn't work, or the battery compartment's completely rusted out. And everything about this was just like it was brand new, like it just was kept in immaculate condition. So anyways, I got it for $6, sold her for $75. I was really happy with that. There was only one other one listed. They had like $20 shipping on it. And that's part of my strategy when I come in. Like I think they had it for $60 and then, but it was like $20-some shipping. So I come in at $74.89, free ship, and I'm like, oh my goodness. Oh, I'm so sorry. And, you know, and then the buyer goes with me instead, is the idea, right? So after all the fees and the shipping, it was a little bit of an awkward ship. This thing was like 18 inches long or something like that, so I had to get a little creative because I only had 16-inch boxes. But nothing I couldn't handle. And we pocketed, you know, what, $44 off of, and it sold, like, I listed it, it sold within 24 hours. So super happy with that. I love poaching that little Facebook group, and I make quite a bit of money off it. It's not as fun. Like I said, it's not the thrill of the hunt as much, but I make good money off that Facebook group, so I enjoy it. This was part of that Xbox 360 lot that I picked up games, a whole bunch of games for about $1 a piece. Or I might have got them even a little lower than $1 a piece. I can't remember exactly now, you know. The majority of Xbox 360 games, PS2 games, you know, you're not going to get crazy profits off of them. But it's nice little, you know, little sales that add up. So $4.60 minus our dollar investment made a few dollars, you know, nothing crazy. But again, they add up. So, and people like games, people buy them. These are actually just a personal buy that I messed up on. I have the analog Sega Genesis console. If you guys don't know what that is, it's a really cool thing that allows you to play the original carts for Sega Genesis, but it also allows you to put ROMs and emulators on the device and play it with original hardware. So super cool. 8BitDo is a company that makes really, really good wireless peripherals for Super Nintendo, Genesis, even current consoles and stuff like that. You've probably heard of them. If not, and you're in the market, definitely look into them. But anyways, I bought the wrong controllers. These are the ones that have the USB dongles instead of like the original Sega Genesis port dongle. So I bought them for like 30, I might have got them for like $25, $30 a piece. I can't remember exactly. Threw them back on eBay, so after fees and stuff, like, obviously I'm a little bit out of pocket, but it's better than them just sitting around or trying to start a return. I bought those like a year ago. So, you know, I got $43 back on whatever I spent initially. So, this was from the same sale as the rebreather thingy. Again, part of that lot that I picked up to where everything basically worked out to about $5 a pop. So it's actually, I thought it was like a big box game, but it's actually the Ultimate Interactive Movie. So it's like kind of a game, but it's more an interactive DVD. Which is maybe why it's not worth as much as I was like hoping for a sealed big box, you know, Star Trek game. So anyways, I sold this for $22.89 and, you know, made like $4 after my $5 investment. The Lego Star Wars Complete Saga on Nintendo DS. I just found this. I have an entire warehouse full of dead stock, just stuff that I've bought over the years that I haven't listed yet. And, you know, I found it, so I have no idea what I would have paid. But we, you know, I usually buy this stuff for pretty cheap, or it's part of a lot. I would say I have about $1 into it, so we made about $5. These guys, this is actually kind of an interesting story, to me at least. Maybe you won't think so, but I picked these up at a Walmart, on a Walmart clearance aisle, because I noticed the original price on the sticker was $29, I think. They were like $30, something like that. And they were marked down to $8. So anything that's marked down that low, I'll look it up on eBay, see what they're selling for. It's usually lower than what MSRP was, but there's usually still some room for profit after shipping, especially stuff like this. These little boxes are about that big, not very big at all. I bought them. I didn't even know what they were. I honestly thought they were some sort of a phone jack or something like that. You know, some sort of an Ethernet port or something like that. An electrician that would be interested in for like contracting houses or something. Anyways, and then recently I bought a record player, an Audio-Technica record player, and I got to looking at them as I was listing them, and I realized, oh, this is replacement needles for, coincidentally, the record player that I just picked up, a pretty nice wireless Bluetooth Audio-Technica vinyl LP player and turntable. And so I bought 6 of them. Yeah, I bought 6 of them. So I kept one and just stashed it away in case I ever need a replacement needle. And then I threw the other 5 here on eBay, and 2 of them have already sold. Again, I did pay $8 a piece, so the profit margin isn't huge, unfortunately. But $11, so, you know, I'm profiting about $3 for each one of those that sell. And 2 of them already sold. I've got 3 left, so it should be a quick flip. And, you know, I'll put like $15 in my pocket. Easy peasy, right? This is another clown sold. Clown alert. We need like a custom notification. Clown alert. I don't know. Bring up like you guys remember, was it Bozo the Clown? To like throw the balls in the cups? What was that show? Oh my god, repressed memories. Anyways, I've told the story before. We rolled up to a yard sale as they were packing up. They had an entire like 6-foot table full of clown stuff, and I was just looking at it because it was like, well, that's a lot of clown stuff. I wasn't necessarily interested. And she's like, I'll give you you know how it is if you're looking at something at a yard sale, a lot of times they'll throw out offers and stuff like that or try to entice you to buy. She's like, I'll give you the whole table for $5. And I was like, oh, dang. I guess I'm buying an entire table of clown stuff, because it was just a whole bunch of figurines and, you know, some bigger, some smaller, just a ton of stuff that I knew that like at $5 I'd obviously be fine. And, you know, still to this day, 3-4 years later, every once in a while something sells. As weird as it is, because I don't know who collects clown stuff. Anyways, sold for $17.99 plus ship. That's how you know this is an old listing, because I generally never list with shipping fees. But yeah, so I would say, like, fair guess, I've got like 10 cents into this thing after like the money is spread out across the amount of items that I bought for $5. Anyways, yeah, so basically $17 profit there, which is really cool. So yeah, let's see. We got NASCAR, the game 2011. That was part of that big 360 lot that I bought. Again, probably $1 or less into that. After fees and everything, not much meat left on that bone right there, but we made about $2. Assassin's Creed Origins Fig Pen. This probably came in like one of my loot crates or something that I was subscribed to a long time ago. I don't know. Or I picked it up at a yard sale, because you do find a lot of like loose loot crate stuff at yard sales, and sometimes people have it individually priced out, like $5, $10, $15, stupid stuff that I'm not going to pay. But every once in a while I'll find a yard sale with just a bunch of loot box type items, you know, GameStop clearance stuff or whatever, but it's still sealed in the package, and they'll have like a quarter or 50 cents on it. So I don't know what I would have picked it up for, but you know, only a few dollars there. So, and that is the end of the sales for the week. But just realized, oh no, we're good. But now we're on to the month. This is what we did for April. Full transparency. You can see I'm logged in here. Not like there's anything to fake. It wasn't the greatest month of sales, but this is our first month like fully back into it. And when I say fully, I'm not even like, back when I was really going hard on this, I didn't have anything else on my plate. I wasn't really making any content or anything. Right now, I'm still doing quite a bit of content. I do like 8 to 10 videos a day over on my Twitter and stuff like that. So that all takes time, obviously, away. So I'm listing a lot more, but I was regularly listing and shipping product and doing the content on the YouTubes and stuff like that for the month of April. So my first month back in, still not 100%, still not exactly where I'd like to be. I'd like to be listing a lot more. I'd like to get my average per listing, average price per listing higher. You can see our average sales price per item here is $37.31, which is honestly a little bit higher than I expected. I had some higher end stuff that sold that really helped that, but I feel like I've just been listing a whole lot of like $5 to $10 items, and I kind of want to get away from that. I think I'm going to start doing more lots, or just throwing stuff on Facebook or in a donate pile if it's like, you know, if it's in that range, unless it's like a, you know, unless it's like an easy sale, like a game or something like that. But even then, I might just lot it up. I want to get those average per listing values up. That way I can net more. So you can see our total sales for the month of April were, oh, I just remembered like my camera's in the way for a lot of this. There we go. You should see most of it there. Sales for the month were $1,790.92, which is 234% up from last period. But what is that compared to? So that's compared to, okay, it's not last year. That's compared to last month. So again, yeah, it's my first month back. So the only time that this number will really matter is next month, because it'll compare it to a month that I was actually working. March, I wasn't really doing much. So out of that $1,790, that's gross sales. That's the money that came in before fees were paid out and before shipping labels were purchased. So you can see here that the selling cost includes both the fees and the shipping labels here. So it's really easy to look at. $538.86, which brings our net to $1,125.69. But it's not truly our net, because you have to think, you know, what we spent on all that junk that we sold. Obviously, it wasn't anywhere near $1,100, but the exact profit margin there, I'm not really sure. I might start, I thought about on the weekly videos on the What Solds, as I generally give a, like, you know, I remember I spent $5 on this, so the profit would have been another $5. I might start adding up those totals but the problem is I don't always remember exactly what I paid. But I thought about it'd be fun to like tally those things as the video goes. Maybe just have like a number down here that's like profit, and every time I show one of the solds for the week, that profit number goes up. I think that would be fun. And then at the end of the month, I could maybe go back to the end of all the what sold videos for the weeklies and kind of get a rough idea of how much of this number is actually profit. So we might do that. Let me know down in the comments if that's what you think we should do. Quantity sold. Yeah, so 48 listings sold. That it's kind of quantity again might be a little bit deceiving because like obviously some of those things might have been more than one item. So we sold a lot more items than that potentially, but 48 listings sold. Again, the average sales price per item was 37, which isn't bad. I'd definitely like that to get closer to 50. I'd like to get 100 listings sold. My short-term goal would be 100 sold per month, 100 listings sold per month, and bring that average up to 50. That would give us $5,000 in gross sales and a decent amount of profit for the month. Ultimately, I'd like to go even higher. The number I have in my mind is I really want to get to $10,000 in sales a month. If the thing is right now with the whole Elon Musk situation, Twitter is pretty dicey. It was my main gig for quite a while there, but ever since the acquisition, things have been very up and down, and I don't really know how that's going to shake out. If it's going to be completely gone, if it's just going to be like side gig type money, or if it's going to come back and be, you know, as good as it was. I don't really know. But if Twitter falls out from underneath me, I've been through this stuff before. I had a Mixer contract. I had an MLG.TV contract, if you guys remember that streaming platform. I've lost my partnership on my main YouTube channel back in the day for a copyright strike for close to a year and had to fight to get that back. I was locked into a content creator really bad contract, the initial contracts that caused a bunch of drama back in the day with Machinima, and had to fight to get out of that. I've been through this stuff before. Nothing really surprises me anymore. I know that at any time all this could just be gone. And so, you know, is what it is. If Twitter just completely falls out from underneath me, I'm going to hit the ball. I'm going to hit the ball. Yeah, I'm going to hit the ball running. And I'm going to go full eBay again because I've done it before, and I've had $10,000, $12,000 sale months. I think I even had a couple months where I did like 20 grand in sales in a single month on eBay. So I've done it before, and I know I can do it again. And, you know, and then that's basically just 5 days a week, waking up, shipping out orders, and making sure I list as much as possible. With my schedule now, I'm only able to list maybe like 2 or 3 days a week, and then a little bit in between. And I kind of, you can actually schedule listings now on eBay, which is pretty cool. You couldn't do that back in the day. But I'm not really sure how that influences the algorithm. Basically, with eBay, it seems that the more you list and the more regular you list, the more your items actually show up when people search. I want a diecast NASCAR car. Well, you wouldn't type in "I want," but if they search for diecast NASCAR, your listings will show up over other listings based on how often and how recent you've been listing new product on the website. Is kind of how the algorithm works. So the more you list, the better, and you know, time is money, and we'll see what happens, right? So here's buyer insights, which it's kind of cool to see, I guess. I had 45 total buyers. 44 of them were one-time buyers, and 1 repeat buyer, which is probably the guy that bought the stickers. So shout out to you, buddy. So that's cool. That's kind of a weird analytic to look at. I guess it could be important. Sales by category is kind of interesting. Dolls and bears. We did 326. What was that? $326 in dolls and bears? What did I sell that was a dollar bear? Entertainment memorabilia, $217. Collectibles, $200. Toys and hobbies, $139. Collectibles, $107. Let's see here. Total sales. This graph isn't really super interesting to show. So actually, the beginning of April, kind of the end of April was not as good, and I did get a bad feedback somewhere in here, and she went to revise it. If she would have just reached out to me before, she got her little figurine, and there was a little broken part that was already there when I listed it, because she even went back and showed me in the photo. She's like, I didn't see this, after she left the bad feedback. And I was like, I'll make it right. And I gave her like more than a 50% refund on her order. And then she said she was going to revise the feedback and never had. But anyways, when you get bad feedback on eBay or some sort of a defect like a return and stuff like that, it definitely hurts it hurts the algorithm. You would think that you would just put stuff on eBay, and when people search it, they're going to find it if you have it listed, but it's not exactly how it works. If you have bad feedback, if you're not listing regularly, if you have late shipment defects, stuff like that, people won't see your stuff. So anything negative like that can definitely affect your sales, and I think that's why some of my end of the month sales weren't quite as good as the beginning of the month here. So, but that's okay. Selling costs, we already saw that. Let's see, eBay. So let's see how much of our selling cost breakdown. Our eBay fees were $235, and then our shipping labels were $303.84. So a little over 50% with shipping. My situation is a little bit unique. I've heard from so many different people that they don't like to sell on eBay because the fees and the shipping is just too much, and they end up not, just take too much of my profit. But my thing is, oh, the Rainbow High dolls that I sold, that's what those were. Like that, like what are you gonna do? Are you gonna list it on Facebook and hope that people are gonna buy, a $30, $40 rainbow doll from you, and then you have to drive to meet them, or they have to come to your home and invade your privacy, and then you have to worry about people haggling you and just all the stuff that goes with that? Or what are you gonna do? Open a store and pay rent and electricity and insurance, and like eBay provides a platform. I'm not saying I love fees. Trust me, I wish they were less as well. I'm not on the fee team necessarily, but it is what it is. Like, I wouldn't have sold all this stuff. I would have never found anybody that wanted to spend $200 on a Evil Dead movie prop if it were for eBay. So it is what it is. You deal with this stuff, and as long as you buy stuff low enough, there is room to profit, and you can be successful on eBay. So, but anyways, yeah, and shipping labels aren't eBay's fault. In fact, they give pretty good rates on shipping labels. It's that's just the time we live in. It's costs are high, and shipping is definitely one of those things that are getting higher. So, yeah, but I'm also in a little bit of a unique situation where I live in Missouri, which is, if you look at a map of the United States, I'm pretty much smack dab in the middle of it, to where shipping to the East Coast and shipping to the West Coast might not be quite as bad for me, to where if you lived like on the West Coast and you get East Coast orders, that's going to be a really high shipping fee, or even a Midwest Coast, is going to be like your average sale probably. So I feel like I've always thought, like, geographically, my location being centered in the U.S. is probably really good for my shipping costs. I would have to assume. Like, I don't know exactly what it would cost to ship something from LA to New York, but I'm guessing it's not cheap, and I don't have to deal with that because I'm centralized. So, I'm anxious to hear if any of you, I know that a lot of other flippers watch this content, so if you live on the East Coast or the West Coast, how bad is your shipping fees when you have to ship stuff to the opposite coast? I would assume it's pretty bad. And here we go. We have all of our sales kind of filtered by total earnings. So, which does factor in multi-quantity listings. So that looks good on paper, the $299.75, but I can't remember. I broke it down in the videos where those sold. I can't remember exactly what I paid for those, but that was retail arbitrage, so the margins aren't as good on those. It wasn't like I made $300 profit. I probably only made like $50 profit or something like that. That was all profit. The $217.38 on Evil Dead 2. The baby Looney Tunes, that was another one of those Facebook picks. So this is like, look, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. So out of my top 10, this sale, this sale, and this sale were all Facebook picks from that auction group. And then this is the other figurine from that, these two Cinderellas here. And this was the third one. It just wasn't quite as much. But yeah, that's kind of interesting to look at here. That 4 of my top 10 sales for the month were Facebook picks. So that kind of shows how good I can do on that Facebook group. I actually just missed an auction last night on some vintage packs of toys that would have been really cool. I forgot the name of them already, but they were pretty neat. But I do have a lot of electronics, an electronics lot that I'm gonna bet on soon, so I'll show you guys if I pick that up. But anyways, that's it, guys. I'll kind of scroll down here if you guys want to slow it down and look, pause the video and zoom in or whatever. I don't know. Yeah, that's it, guys. That's my monthly sales. So we did $17.90 gross. Hopefully, let's set a short-term goal for myself. I know I said, you know, 100 sold and 50 per for $5,000, but I'll probably for next month set that to more realistic. We'll shoot for $2,500 next month. Let's see if we can do it. Comment down below. Do you think I can do $2,500 in sales for May? I don't know. Let me know. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you ring that bell so you don't miss any of these videos. And spoiler alert, I found another lot of games that weren't out. I had to ask, and then they brought out the video games, and we got some good video games. Very similar to the Nintendo 64 video, if you guys saw that. So be looking forward to this Friday's video. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I know this was a long one, but it's a once-a-month thing. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye-bye!